Kiss Country.
Yeah, just ask her; she'll tell you. Annoying. And, there's probably other people too. Maybe this guy too. I don't. Pete, am I annoying?
I just go with 2 out of the 3.
What, you stumble over that?
I don't even remember what they were. I just made that up.
Annoying is the one that sticks out on that
one. Yeah. No, I think we do just fine. Although I don't live with you, so.
Yeah, you know so much more if you did.
Yeah, I'm just fine with the way it is.
Hey, Pete, I got to tell you, look at this. It's
Mountain Dew.
No can today. We got the bottle.
You must have had a late night.
Well, no, I've been working a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
pair that up with some of those new donuts, and you'd really be on a rush.
Have you? We need, as much as we mentioned Mountain Dew, we should have them like they should be sponsoring this thing. So anybody working at there, get a hold of me. We'll get you all set up. But yeah, have you had those donuts?
I've had like a piece of one. One of my buddies had one and broke a chunk off for me. I'm just not a huge donut fan, but you could definitely taste the citrus in it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm good for like one donut. That's it.
Yeah,
for that one.
Okay,
but those donuts, how they come, those where they come in like an 8-pack or 6-pack or something.
Sure.
Yeah, those are the ones that Grandma used to buy. And I used to hate those. I go, oh, Grandma got the bad ones. But now I'm like, I love the chocolate ones.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Just think, when your grandma was buying those, she's probably the same age as you are right now.
Come on.
Hey, I'm older than you are, so I can say that stuff.
Now that you think about it or say it, that's a bad thing. You start thinking about memories, about what, Grandma, Grandpa did or Mom and Dad, and you're going, dude, we're their age.
Or older.
Older, yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. My wife and I have had that conversation several times. It's like, yeah, they seem so old, and they were probably younger than I am right now.
Oh, isn't that horrible to think that? Oh, boy.
Oh, no, it's not horrible. It's just eye-opening, I guess.
Now I know what Grandma and Grandpa were going through.
Exactly.
Those kids today.
Yeah. When we were young.
If you had to go through what we went through, you wouldn't have lasted.
Oh, yes. All part of it.
Yeah. Well, remember back in the day, we never wore helmets.
Oh, yeah.
Nope. No knee pads, no elbow pads, no nothing. I mean, what happened? You cracked your head on the curb, bam. This is what it turned into.
Yeah. Helmets are probably a good idea.
Yeah, probably. Oh, Pete, this heat, I tell you what, yesterday was brutal. Today's going to be brutal. What's that like when on the road workers out there?
Yeah, you got to make sure you take breaks. Obviously, have a lot of water, when you can find shade, but you and I both know when you're out on the roadways, there's not a lot of shade to find.
No.
So yeah, it's definitely something that they are taking precautions and being aware of. One of our maintenance shops, I was talking to our supervisor yesterday down in Waterloo, and I'm sure it's this way across our district. They'd been bombarded the last few weeks with patching and spraying for weeds in the ditches and doing guardrail work. Well, they needed to get to doing some blading shoulders. So blading shoulders, most of the work is done inside, a maintainer or a truck or something like that with air conditioning. So they switched their focus now instead of being out doing the guardrail work, and they've moved over to blading the shoulders. So they do what they can to adapt to the heat. Another thing too, if something would happen where you do need to make a repair on the road, if it can wait until early morning, they'll wait till early morning, when it's not as hot. Obviously, if it's something that needs repaired right away, they'll get out there. But yeah, you adapt and you do what you can. It happens every year. and it doesn't make it any easier on people, but it does. It is something that we have done before, that they have done before, and they're experienced and know how to take care of it.
I feel sorry as much as I love the slow and stop sign goer guys and the gals.
Sure, just goer guys.
I mean, they're out there in the wide open, no shade, no nothing. I mean, I'm going, man, they got to be just sweating like crazy.
Yeah, nope, you're exactly right. And again, that's not always, but depending on the project. If it's a maintenance project, we have our guys out there doing the flagging. If it's a contractor, they are out there doing the flagging. But bottom line is, you just got to be careful. You got to be aware and look for the signs of heat exhaustion or heat stroke or both, and be ready to take action if needed.
Do they rotate throughout the day?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And again, it depends on the project. It depends on, but yeah, there's most of the time. I've actually even seen it where a pilot car will come by and they'll swap out and get out and switch. So yeah,
Sure.
like I said, again, it depends on the project. It depends on the contractor. So, but they do, like I said, they take precautions, and it's, again, we deal with it every year up here. So they've got policies in place, or at least practices in place, where they can deal with the heat and keep everybody safe.
Yeah. What is the temperature? I'm sure that you guys have done studies. What's the temperature that they're standing on while they're working?
Oh man, I don't know exactly, and it's funny. We've got, and I probably talked about this in the winter before, like in our maintenance supervisors pickups and in our snow plows, we have gauges that measure the road temperature.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they are, and I'm trying to think. I just heard the other day about a sporting event where the temperature was like 95 degrees, but the surface was like 130.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you can it's a good comparison. And it might be even a little bit hotter because, you're out on, if it's an asphalt job, you're out on nothing but, black pavement.
Right.
And that does nothing but absorb the heat. So, yep, it is all stuff that you have to be aware of.
I think your feet would get hot.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I would think so as well. Yeah, they're not dancing. They're just trying to keep their feet from burning.
Yeah, they don't have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
It's hot.
But again, too, that goes back to where, you have to have steel-toed or safety shoes out on
Sure.
the projects and everything. So, yeah, there are, like I said, policies and practices that are in place to help keep people safe. But again, you've got to be able to know your body and know the signs, and keep yourself safe as well.
Yeah. So holiday weekend coming up this weekend. They're not going to be working obviously on Saturdays, but does the all hands on deck? Let's get this done or wrap up this before the holiday.
There's some, you can't really, depending on the project again, but and where it's at in the project, you can't necessarily wrap them up. But we do have several projects where they will not be working on the third. We do not allow it, just
Oh.
because there is so much extra traffic on the roads.
Yeah.
And another one, the project over by Algona, it's the Abate rally this weekend. So
Oh,
we are actually having them get off the road on July 2nd as well. So they won't be working Thursday, Friday either. And we will do that where we know there's a huge increase in traffic for an event. When possible, we'll request the contractor to not work, just so we don't have to deal with that type of traffic. The people coming for the rally don't have to deal with the road work, and get a couple days, let everybody get through there, and have a great event, and get back at it Monday.
yeah. Because I mean, everything should be open up, so it's all 2 lane,
Yes.
where possible.
Yep. The ones that are affected is the project, the Algona to Sexton project. Like I said, that one, they will not be on the road Thursday or Friday. The work on the avenue with some patching and the cross stitching project that we've talked about, they'll be off the road on Friday. The Iowa 3 resurfacing project from the Franklin County line to US 69, they'll be off the road. And the Iowa 9 project pretty much has been off the road work the last week or two, so they'll be off as well. So again, the projects where it can happen, again, I always use a comparison. Well, we'll talk about US 65 in Mason City. no, they're not going to open that up, because there's no road there. But the ones where people, like I said, are working on the road, doing the patching, doing the resurfacing, working dirt work, culvert work, whatever, we will have them off the road on Friday, so they don't have to deal with the traffic, and the traffic doesn't have to deal with the road work in places where possible.
That's awesome. Is there any other ones that are going that we got to think about this weekend?
Nothing has really changed over the last week or so. The Rockwell Bridge, kind of a big milestone, will happen in a few hours. Have you ever seen a deck pour, Jay, where they pour the decks on the bridges?
No, I haven't. That'd be cool to see.
You want to go to the Rockwell one?
Today?
Well, not quite today, but they're going to start at 3 a.m.
Oh, what? No, Pete, are you going to be there?
I will not be. So that is actually happening tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. They will pour that deck, and they're doing it at that time because of the temperatures. Concrete, cures better when it's not that hot. So they will get the deck poured starting at 3 a.m. tomorrow. That project's going well. We're still looking at mid-August to get the roadway back open. Kind of interesting fact with that one right now. I know we've talked about when we do storm sewer and water line and all that in towns, you find things under the pavement that
Sure
aren't supposed to be, or not, shouldn't say aren't supposed to be there, but maybe weren't put in the plans 80, 90 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, in this bridge project, there's a gravel road that comes in from the west, and we are moving the gravel road a little bit further away from the bridge just so there's better sight distance and making it safer. Well, we're going to put in a new culvert, because you got to put in a culvert under the road. They found bridge pier footings right where our culvert's supposed to go.
What?
Yeah, the channel has been relocated, whatever, 80, 90 years ago when the initial bridge was put in, and that bridge had been tore out and the gravel road moved. Well, now we're back moving it again, and sure enough, just as luck would have it, there's old bridge pier footings that we now have to remove. So people wonder why projects don't always get done on time, and it's a lot of times it's because stuff like that happens. They're putting in the culvert, and all of a sudden they hit a big concrete structure that needs to be removed. So yeah, just found that, I think it was last week that was discovered. So, but like I said, we're still pushing to get that thing opened in mid-August.
Really?
Yeah.
How long? You won't have to worry about it 80, 90 years from now. Who cares, right?
Nope.
You're not gonna...
Something really, really bizarre happens.
How long does it take when you do a bridge overlay? How long does it take for that concrete to set up where you can actually drive on it?
Oh man, it depends on the temperatures and everything, but to drive on it, man, I'd need to check, but it's got to be 24 to 48 hours.
Oh,
asphalt you can do a lot quicker. I mean, it can be like within a half hour or so.
What?
Yeah, half hour, 45 minutes, depending on the temperatures and everything, but maybe an hour. But no, asphalt sets up pretty quickly.
Wow, I didn't realize.
Again, like I said, it depends on the temperatures, but concrete, and it depends on if you're driving a gator or something like that, or if you're driving a pickup, or a big, or what?
Or a big semi?
Yeah, or a big semi. So yeah, I'll check into that. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'm trying to remember when we got our driveway poured like 10 years ago, how long we had to wait. And it was at least a day or two.
Huh.
But yeah, and again, we're just driving our cars, so that's a big difference depending on what you drive as well.
Yeah. Well, if you leave tire marks, you didn't wait long enough.
That's not a good day.
Yeah, right.
And that's, again, we can go back to following the instructions on signs.
Right.
Every year, somebody goes around signs and drives through wet concrete. Every year.
Has it happened yet?
What's that?
Has it happened this year yet?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Maybe somewhere in the state, but yeah, no, I actually heard a story of somebody who the contractor came to the job site and there was tire tracks, and they followed the tire tracks into a driveway.
Oh, nice.
And confronted the people, and person said no, it wasn't him. And they went over to his pickup and looked in the wheel wells.
Some
It was just covered in concrete. Yeah, that was kind of hard to argue after that.
I don't remember driving through there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then there's another issue.
Yeah. Well, we got cameras. We could just watch it all and watch you go to the front door.
Yeah, no, there's.
Oh.
Yep, there's those signs are there for a reason.
Yeah. Obey the signs. Don't go around anything that says road closed. I know some people road closed for through traffic, but
Right.
you know, there's somebody was asking me I went through this over on the big thing that's going on in front of the hospital.
Yeah.
182, 18, whatever. Yeah. How do people get in and out of their driveways or houses?
Everybody has access.
Oh, did it?
It might be from the alley.
Okay.
But yes, no, that is part of every contract. The contractor has to make sure that every business and that every resident has access. It might not be perfect access, but they have to be able to get in and out of their homes.
Sure.
There's been places where people would have to, and I can't remember this for quite a while, but where people will have to park maybe a couple blocks away,
Yeah.
and the contractor will provide golf carts, and they will take a golf cart to their place.
Oh,
That's in extreme situations.
yeah. They get be able to keep the golf cart after that.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the contract, but
Put that in the budget next time, Pete.
yeah, we'll have to look at that. Maybe an extra line item or a change order.
Get that in order right now.
Yep, exactly.
So that's it for the construction then, basically.
Yeah, everything's moving ahead. We have been doing paving on 65.
Okay.
So that's again kind of a nice big milestone in the project to start seeing new pavement go down. So that they're working on that and doing the main line, the highway, and then the side street connections and driveways and things like that. So
Sure.
other than that, it's pretty much status quo. I will stress that it is obviously the 4th of July weekend, so make sure you check those apps if you travel and have an idea of what kind of road work you might run or want to be aware of. And then the other thing too is starting tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of crews on the road changing speed limit signs.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Be aware of that they'll be out there. And again, I cannot stress this enough. If you are on a 2-lane road and you see a sign that says 55 miles per hour,
It's actually
still 55 miles per hour.
Oh.
It is not 60 until that sign gets changed.
Oh, okay. So where
again,
state troopers going to be piled up tomorrow?
Well, I think they usually are on the holidays anyway, but yeah. And again, I know we've touched on it too, but not everybody hears all of our shows. There are roads that will stay at 55.
Yeah.
Just because, again, I always do the comparison out in the northeast part of the state where we've got a bunch of curvy roads and you got bluffs and everything like that. So they may stay at 55, and they may not change till 3 weeks from now because, we went through every single 2-lane road in our district and looked at them quickly to see which ones could be changed. And doesn't mean that just because 2 weeks from now a road still says 55, it won't get changed. It may be still being studied. But again, the bottom line is if that sign says 55,
Drive
it's 55. Yes.
All right.
And that's straight from the Attorney General's opinion. So
not Pete Helmstead, but the Attorney General.
correct.
The person that Pete answers to. No, I'm kidding.
No. Well, yes, I guess, but not directly.
Yeah. Well, everybody needs to drive safe this weekend. Have a great weekend. I know it's a couple of days away, but by the time you see the video or whatever, or we're not going to talk until then or after that.
Right. And I know a lot of people too are taking most of the week off. So
yeah.
If you are, enjoy, and I'm jealous, but have fun.
Yeah. So, and remember too, it's very, very convenient, very useful is the 511 ia.org website or the app that you can get on your phone. It's very convenient. Even if you go into Minnesota, there is a ton ton of construction going on up there. Wife just came back from the cabin up north, and she's like, "We are not." This is how she says, "We are not taking." Well, she doesn't sound like this, but we are.
You better be. Remember that part where we started at the beginning talking about annoying?
Come on, Pete. Come on. Give me.
Don't make it so easy.
But yeah, we are not taking this way back up here in a couple of weeks. And I said, "Why? There's so much construction." I said, "Well, I told her to download the app. She didn't do that. She calls me and I'm going, "Where are you?" That's, there's plenty of road constructions up there. So,
Well, it's up to you, but it was over Memorial Day weekend. I went directly through the cities and went, 35 to 494
yeah.
to 94, and it was pretty smooth. Now,
Well,
I'm not saying things haven't changed since then. Well, you look at the app, but just on the very west side of the cities, there was some work going on. That was a slowdown for a little bit. Not, I expected, especially Monday coming home, I expected it to be horrible with all the holiday traffic. But man, I got through that road work on the west side of the cities, and I never slowed down
yeah.
until they hit Mason City.
Yeah. It took her 5 hours to get up there. She went through the city, but she went through like at 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but coming home took her over, I think, like 7 hours. Because of she goes, "There's construction everywhere." Oh, not my fault, but somehow it is.
Yeah, I get it.
Pete, have yourself a great week, rest of the week, a great 4th of July, and we'll talk to you again next week. All right.
All right. You do the same, Jay.
Thank you.
That's the good stuff.
Well, there's good news that happens all